Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about a very important topic from our solutions chapter, that is ideal and non-ideal solution. So as we have discussed up to it is about the solubility of solid in liquid and gas in liquid. And now if you consider liquid in liquid type of solutions, we have a particular condition of ideality and a non-ideality of a solution. So in the Raoult's law experiment or the Raoult's law expression, we have observed that whenever you consider two liquids which are volatile in nature, we obtain a certain particular graph, right? So if a solution with the two components, because we are considering only the binary solution, it will be having two components. So whenever you consider a solution formed by two liquids, and if that solution follows the given Raoult's law, which we explained as a particular partial pressure of the given liquid, one component of the liquid depends upon its respective mole fraction and relatively to one another. Using all those expected graphs and all, if a solution follows a given Raoult's law and if it doesn't follow Raoult's law, then we classify a given liquid-liquid solution into two types. Those are, first one being ideal solution. First one is ideal solution. And second one is non-ideal solution. First one is ideal solution and second one is non-ideal solution. So first we'll discuss about what is ideal solution and then we'll go for non-ideal solution. Now ideal solution is one which obeys the Raoult's law in all possible concentration compositions. That is, if we consider this as the Raoult's law expression graph, so what we observed there was, if x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to b, x1 is equal to 1 and x1 is equal to 1 and x2 is equal to 0, we observe certain graphs such as like this. We observe graphs such as like this and we obtain the vapor pressure of the given solution. So if an ideal solution is one in which we obtain the exact graph which was proposed by Raoult's. Okay, if whenever you obtain exact graph, that is, if a liquid solution follows Raoult's law in all possible concentrations from here to here, it obtains this particular graph of plot, and that means it is following the Raoult's law to a nail. So therefore, we can say those type of solutions as ideal solution. So ideal solution, what happens in case of ideal solution is, clearly we say it is a binary component. So if you consider liquid A and liquid B is being mixed with one another to form an ideal solution, we observe two more important properties. Those are, when you mix A and B, when you mix liquid A and liquid B, we won't observe any change in enthalpy. That means change in enthalpy for mixing A and B will be equal to 0. That is, if you mix liquid A and liquid B, there will be no change in enthalpy. That means there will be no enthalpy released or no enthalpy absorbed. So the overall enthalpy will be constant, and that means there will be no change in enthalpy at all once they are mixed. Similarly, if you add those volumes, delta V change will also be equal to 0. That is, if you are taking 1 ml of A and 1 ml of B, if you are taking 1 liters of A and 1 liter of B, then once you mix, you will get sum of both. So that will be 2 liters of the solution. Okay. So ideal solutions are those solutions which follow Raoult's law in all possible concentrations, and also they have two important property. One is they always follow a mixture of delta H enthalpy being 0 and the mixture of delta V will be 0. Okay, so then enthalpy change in mixing will be 0 and their volume change in mixing will be 0. Okay, further, when is this type of solutions prepared is, if you consider a binary liquid, that means having A and B, it will be having molecular interaction between them. Okay, if you are considering two liquids of liquid A and liquid B, there will be molecular interaction between the molecules itself, such as AA interaction and BB interaction with respectively of A and B. Okay, once you combine these two, you'll obtain a different type of interaction, that is A with B interaction. We obtain a different interaction which is known as AB interaction. So ideal solutions can be said that the interactions of the ideal solutions will be similar to the interaction of their intermolecular liquid components. So if the interaction of AA is equal to AB, or interaction of BB is equal to AB, then those for type of liquid-liquid solutions are called as ideal solution. So now clearly we can say ideal solution has three important properties. One, they follow Raoult's law in all possible concentration. Second one, they won't have any change in enthalpy on mixing, and they won't have any change in volume on mixing. And third point, the interaction between the solute and solvent particles will be same as that of the interaction between two solute particles and two solvent particles. Okay, so those type of solutions are called ideal solution. Usually what we observe is most of these ideal solutions are rare to be found, and we have certain examples which can form an ideal solution. Those are N-hexane and N-heptane. N-hexane and N-heptane are a type of ideal solution. And we have one more example, chloroethane and bromoethane are one more type of ideal solutions. Okay, so this is about ideal solution. Next, for a non-ideal solution, so non-ideal solutions are clearly those which do not follow Raoult's law at any concentration. If a liquid-liquid solution does not follow Raoult's law of vapor pressure, if a liquid-liquid solution does not follow Raoult's law of vapor pressure, then those solutions are called non-ideal solution. Okay, so this non-ideal solution have change in enthalpy on mixing and have their volume being changed on mixing, and further they don't have any similar interaction with respect to solute-solute, solvent-solvent when compared to the solute and solvent components. So clearly there are two types of non-ideal solution. One is the solution, a non-ideal solution with positive deviation, and the other one is non-ideal solution with negative deviation. Since a non-ideal solution does not follow Raoult's law at any concentration, we observe two types of non-ideal solution. One is a type in which this liquid-liquid solution will have a positive deviation when compared to the normal ideal solution, and those which have negative deviation when compared to the ideal solution. So what is this positive deviation and what is this negative deviation? For that, we have to write down the graph of Raoult's law for ideal solution. So if you consider the graph of Raoult's law, so that is plotting mole fraction on x-axis and P1 on, so let us say this is for P1A, sorry PA not, PA of the left side, PB on B side. So XA is equal to 1, XB is equal to 0, here XA is equal to 0, XB is equal to 1. Okay, so now in this particular condition what I am considering is A is a less volatile compound. Okay, A is a less volatile compound. If I draw the curve for this, what happens is PA will be maximum at this point and will go on decrease with a decrease in XA. Because of Raoult's law, it says P is proportional to X, right? So since XA is decreasing from 1 to 0, PA will decrease. Since XB is increasing, PB will increase, and further we have observed is since PA, that is solute A is a slow, less volatile compound, it will have a PA value less when compared to PB. Okay. So now, and the total value will be P is equal to PA plus PB. Okay. So this is for the actual Rolle's law equation for ideal solution. So now, what is for positive deviation and what is a negative deviation is, if you consider a positive deviation, that means the curve of the expected ideal solution will be more when compared to the other one. That is, if you observe this as the P curve, vapor pressure curve for the liquid solution, it will have a variation which is more than that of the ideal value. Okay. So this increase will be again increase like this. It will be higher than that of the ideal value, and this value will also be higher than that of the ideal value. So if you clear here, let us say white denotes ideal curve. So white color denotes the ideal curve. The yellow color, yellow chalk represents positive deviation. So if you observe here carefully, what happens here is, with the increase or decrease in mole fraction, we are observing the abnormal increase. So there is a positive deviation if you particularly consider at this point of time. At this point of concentration, PA should be, vapor pressure of the liquid solution should be somewhere over here, but it is found to be having a higher value. Okay, so whenever you have a positive deviation, that is, it has a higher value when compared to ideal value, then those is called as positive deviation, and a solution which shows positive deviation are called non-ideal solution with positive deviation. Now for the negative deviation, those will be having lesser value when compared to the ideal values. So the orange color which I am writing here is orange for negative deviation. So the value is less when compared to the ideal values. Similarly, this curve also be lesser, and this will also be lesser when compared to the ideal values. So whenever you are observing deviation in a ideal solution curve, and the solution which is representing that particular curve is called a non-ideal solution. If the curve is having a higher value when compared to ideal curve, then this type of solution are called non-ideal solution with positive deviation. And if you observe curves with a lesser value when compared to the ideal curves, then those are called non-ideal solution with negative curve or negative deviation. So why is this negative deviation or positive deviation happens? So the reason because this negative deviation or positive deviation happens is because of the nature of solute and solvent being taken. So the nature of the solute or the solvent which you are taking will result in the deviation. It may be either positive or it may be negative. So let us consider for the first one, positive deviation. For if you consider the positive deviation, takes place when you have interaction of particles. Let us say we have taken two components. Let AA be solute, let the component A be solute and the component B be the solvent. Okay, so if the component A is as solute and we are considering component B as a solvent, if the interaction of AA and BB is greater than interaction of AA and BB is greater than interaction of AB. Okay, if the interaction between AA particles is greater than that of interaction between the AB particles, similarly if the interaction of BB particles is greater than that of the interaction of AB particles, then what happens is, if you consider here, we'll take an example. So if you consider ethanol as a solvent and you are adding acetone to it, so what happens here is, ethanol has intermolecular force of attraction because of hydrogen bonding. Okay, ethanol has hydrogen bonding, so therefore the molecules present in ethanol will be having an intermolecular hydrogen bonding. When you add acetone to it, that is nothing but you are adding B to A. When you are adding B to A, that is acetone to ethanol, you are breaking down the hydrogen bonds. Okay, we are breaking down the hydrogen bonds. That is, if these are ethanols and you are adding acetone here, so what happens is there was initial and hydrogen between two ethanol atoms. Now the inclusion of acetone is breaking down the bonds. So therefore, the interaction between acetone and ethanol will be less. Okay. Once the interaction between acetone and ethanol is less, what happens is both the solute components and the solvent component tend to escape to a vapor phase. Okay. Once both the liquids are having a lesser interaction, they'll tend to convert themselves into a vapor phase because we are providing heat for them. Okay. So once you are heating those two liquid components, what happens is they break their bond and they try to become a vapor phase. We try to jump to the vapor phase. So when liquid components of 1 or 2 is completely increasing towards the vapor phase, what happens is the extent of AB formation is less. The extent of AB formation will be less because those are broke down and they are completely forming a vapor components. So therefore their vapor pressure will be increased. Understood? Since the interaction of AA is broken down by B, so both will be now converted to vapors. So since they are increasing the number of vapors, clearly they increase the number of vapor pressure. Okay, that is because partial pressure or vapor pressure depends upon the mole fractions of either solute or solvent. So therefore, the number of solute or solvent present in the vapor form is more when the interaction is weak. Therefore, we will observe a positive curve. Okay, so therefore we observe a higher value of vapor pressure at a given particular mole fraction. Understood? So this is about the positive deviation. So this happens when the interaction of AA and BB particles are greater than that of the interaction of AB particles. Similarly, negative deviation is observed. Negative deviation is observed when the interaction of AA particle and BB particles being less than, so negative deviation is observed when interaction of AA and BB particles is less than AB particle. If the interaction of AA particles and BB particles is less than the interaction of AB particles, then what happens is the compound will be showing a negative deviation. For example, if you use same acetone but you are adding it to chloroform CHCl3. When you are adding acetone to chloroform, what happens is the carbonyl group present on the acetone tries to interact with the hydrogen of chloroform. Okay, so therefore we observe an hydrogen bonding. Since we observe a hydrogen bonding, this is nothing but the AB interaction. If this is A and this is B, this is the AB interaction. So now clearly we can say that if the solute and solvent particle when compared to the AB, here AB having a one more type of interaction, that is hydrogen bonding, and therefore interaction of AB is greater than that of AA and BB. Or in other words, you can say that interaction of AA particle and BB particles are less than that of the interaction of AB particles. Therefore, once they have a higher number of interaction, they will be having a lesser tendency to form a vapor. Okay, so they will have a less tendency to form a vapor at a given mole fraction. Therefore, what we observe is we observe a negative curve. Okay, we observe the decrease in the ideal solution curve. That is because of the increase in interaction between AB particle. Okay, so this is about positive deviation and negative deviation. So why do positive deviation occur this? It is because when you treat two solute and solvent particle which have more interaction when compared to their respective liquid solution, then those undergo tendency to form vapor, and therefore we observe a higher value of curve partial pressure or vapor pressure in respect to ideal solution. Similarly, if you are treating solute and solvent which has less interaction when compared to its liquid solution, what happens is they tend to have a less value of partial pressure or vapor pressure with respect to the ideal solution. So this is about the positive deviation of an ideal solution and negative deviation of ideal solution. Further, this positive deviation of ideal solution and negative deviation of ideal solution can also be defined in terms of azeotropes. So what is azeotrope? So azeotropes are those compounds which have the same composition both in the liquid phase and vapor phase. So if I consider a closed container, so if AB interaction present in the liquid phase is equal to the AB interaction present in the vapor phase. If the AB interaction present in the liquid phase is equal to the AB interaction present in the vapor phase, then those type of solutions are called azeotrope solution, and those type of solutions are called azeotrope solution. Okay, that is, if the interaction of AB in the liquid phase is same that of the interaction of AB in the vapor phase. It can also be said as the composition of AB in liquid phase is equal to the composition of AB in vapor phase. Then those type of solutions are called azeotrope solution. Okay, so azeotrope solution, what happens is they give two types. One is minimum boiling azeotrope and the other one is maximum boiling azeotrope. So what is this minimum boiling azeotrope and maximum boiling azeotrope? Minimum boiling azeotrope means the azeotropes which have a less boiling point. Okay, so if an azeotrope has a less boiling point, then those are called minimum boiling azeotrope, and the azeotropes which have high boiling point are called maximum boiling azeotrope. That is, minimum boiling azeotrope, and next is maximum boiling azeotrope. So minimum boiling azeotrope has a lesser amount of boiling point to form an azeotrope. That means if A and B boils at low temperature in order to obtain the azeotropic condition, if a liquid solution obtains azeotropic condition at low boiling point, so then those type of are called as minimum boiling azeotrope. That is nothing but the positive deviation ideal solution. So if you observe the positive deviation ideal solution, what happens is AB breaks down easier as they have a lesser interaction when compared to AA and BB, right? AB has lesser interaction when compared to AA and BB. So therefore they tend to form their vapor phase easier. So therefore positive deviation ideal solution are nothing but the minimum boiling azeotropic examples. That means they obtain this particular azeotropic condition at a low boiling point because they have a very less interaction when compared to their solute-solute and solvent-solvent interaction. Similarly, in case of maximum boiling azeotrope, those azeotropes are obtained when we observe a negative deviation ideal solution. Since AB has a greater attraction when compared to AA and BB, AB will be showing lesser tendency to form their vapors. So therefore, we have to provide more amount of temperature. Therefore, their boiling point will be high. Therefore, they are nothing but the maximum boiling azeotrope. That is, negative deviation ideal solution obtain azeotropic condition at a maximum boiling point. Hence, they are called maximum boiling azeotrope. So, example for minimum boiling azeotrope and maximum boiling azeotrope is, for minimum boiling azeotrope, we can consider 95% of ethanol, with water, which is obtained by fermentation of sugar. And for the maximum boiling azeotrope, we can use an example of 68% nitric acid in 32 water. 68% of nitric acid in water gives a maximum boiling azeotropic solution, and 95% of ethanol in water have a minimum boiling azeotropic solution. Okay, so this is all about ideal and non-ideal solution. So go through this video once again because I have explained in a clear way. If you still have any doubts after watching this video, please do comment down below, because this is a very important topic of negative deviation and positive deviation and the azeotropes. So if you have those doubts, please do comment down below, or you can mail those doubts to me at my mail ID which I have provided in the description box. Okay, thank you for watching.